All right. Well, hello, and welcome everyone to our BG5 Live. Great to have all of you here. These crazy times we were just talking about earlier that just everything today feels a little wonky, feels a little off. So, so we'll work our way through our BG5 Live. Today is May 18th. 2021. This is episode number 105. And today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite traits because it happens to be one that I have. We're going to take a look at trait 8, and we're going to take a look at trait 8 in quality 4. So what we're going to be taking a look at is contribution. So we're going to take a look at respecting the contribution of others. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at. Now, of course, before we get started, let's say hello to our panel. Let's start with Linda. Hey, Linda, welcome.
Hello. Nice to be here. Love to hear your contribution.
Exactly. And Natalie, welcome.
Yay. Happy to be here. Welcome, everybody. It's going to be a fun one.
Great. Super. And my name is Karen Sherwood. And again, welcome to everyone who is live in our Zoom room. Welcome to everyone who's watching us live via Facebook. And welcome to everyone who is watching us via the recording. And one of the things that we have been doing in the last couple of weeks is opening things up to your contribution. So since we are taking a look at respecting the contribution of others, we would like to respect the contribution of all of you as well. So as things come up, as you recognize things for yourself, we would love to have you share and participate as well. And Natalie, I forgot to say this before we got started. I think if we promote them to a panelist, then they can show their video. So if we want to do that, then they can actually show their video as well. All right, so let's jump in and get started in taking a look at respecting the contribution of others. Again, we are in May and just kind of taking a look at the theme of May. Remember, we've talked about this, getting individual attention through communication and action to manifest form. So we took a look at the driver, the direction of self. We took a look last week at assimilation in the 23, the elimination of intolerance and the acceptance of diversity. Today, we're going to be taking a look at contribution. And contribution is all about leading by example. So again, if any of you have trait 8 within your design, we would love to hear your expression in leading by example. So we'd love to have you to share as we go through. And then next week, we're going to wrap up May. Can you believe May is almost over? We're almost in June. That's crazy. Next week, we'll take a look at the 20. Next week, we'll take a look at contribution. I am now awareness that transforms understanding into right action. So just kind of taking a look at today, again, we are in trait 8, quality 4. I also just wanted to highlight, again, we talked about this moving into the 36, and we can also see in the values on the other side, we have the 35. So we have the strength of the experiencer defined right now. And so, with that, things feel like there's I don't know. It just feels like there's a tension or something brewing, or things are kind of wonky and off. I don't know if everybody else has experienced that or not, but I don't know. Today's been one of those kind of weird days that we've been kind of experiencing that. So we'll see what happens. All right, so let's dive into taking a look what trait 8 is all about. Trait 8 of contribution. So when we take a look at contribution, this is the basic worth realizing by contributing individual efforts, because it is an individual strength or a trait that's connected to an individual strength. It is individual, but it is contributing individual effort to the group goals. Right. This is also one of the traits that is in the penta. It is public relations. And so oftentimes it's really the voice or the mouthpiece, if you will, of the penta, which is a small group. And it's through example, the contribution of the individual is impressed upon the collective. So again, it is through example. This is also a leadership trait. And it is leadership by being a role model, right? By being an example. And it's about holding together, again, leading by example, and it's attracting other people's attention to what you are marketing, like a gallery owner or an art agent that is promoting the artist on the other side. The one is our creative self-expression that we'll see on the other side of the 8, this creative self-expression. This is being able to market or sell that whatever this creative self-expression is. It's about getting attention to whatever it is you're marketing. And usually it's something unique and different, again, like a gallery owner or an art agent. It is about public relations. I mentioned this before, in a small group dynamic. This is often, again, how a small group gets noticed is through contribution, through public relations, through getting the word out there, and through getting noticed. And it quietly impacts others, and it shifts their orientation over time. It's not the type of leadership, because it's a leadership trait. It's not the kind of leadership that it's, hey, follow me. And it's not the type of leadership where you need to, gain support and be elected. It is the kind of leadership where you just do you, right? And you lead by example. Again, it's both creative and leadership. So it has both that creative element to it and a leadership element to it as well. So it's both a creative and a leadership trait. And there's only 2 traits that are both creative and leadership traits, and it's the 8 and the 1. And contribution will come either through the public display of your own specific style and your own specific creations, or by empowering and publicly promoting others, right? So you can see that there's a lot about getting attention, marketing, public relations, getting the word out there is all a part of this contribution. So I would love to start with our panel. And again, if any of you have trait 8 in your design, we would love to hear from you as well. So Linda, would you like to start?
Yes. Well, I have the 1. And so I'm really feeling the influence of the 8, because I'm really thinking about altering my website, my offerings, how to make everything public in podcast to express me. So it's really funny. I was just also having a chat with Natalie. Now with this knowledge that we have the 8, I was thinking, aha, that's where it comes from. Fantastic. And it's really fun, because I also realized that in previous jobs, I also worked as a public relations officer, kind of in communications, and that's not my job. I have the 1, not the 8, but I'm really drawn to deliver my contribution. So it's my unusualness. Yes, the 1. Yeah. So it's interesting to see this. That's not, and it wasn't working either. So it was not that great. But I really feel that the 8 is really creative. It's individual, it brings forward mutation, and I love the example of the art gallery. Art gallery is every piece of art is creative, has its own way of expression, and also a target audience. And you can also see people that are great artists. I don't know if they particularly do have the 1, 8 or the 8, but it is you lots of times you see that people that create art are being copied. They have a certain style, And then they say, oh, that's a beautiful style, and I also want to paint in that certain style. So I really feel also the leadership in this trade is also amazement about, oh, wow, how can you express yourself and your uniqueness and bring forward mutation and new things in a creative, unique way, and be able to express that in a unique way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really feel that's also the impact on others. And I really feel that sometimes maybe people that are a little bit eccentric in clothing or in the way they live, or people that are traveling all over the world on bare feet and they just do whatever, and they are really inspiring.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I really feel the influence, but I also feel like, this is a beautiful way of leadership. And also the group goals is an important thing, because when you take a look at a penta, it's also about the mouthpiece, getting to know and telling about what the group has to offer.
Yes, exactly.
So, wonderful. But I'm really curious about people that do the 8 like you, and I see lots of people. So,
oh, nice, very cool. How about for you, Natalie? And if there's anyone who would like to jump on board and also share about their design.
So I don't have either the 8 or the 1, but my sister has the 1-8. That's her only strength, and she is a creative leader and she is a role model, but she hardly believes it herself. Like, it's so natural and so individual that she didn't understand how it could be a leadership, because in leadership we think of being a manager telling other people what to do, right? That's kind of the old or whatever standardized cliche way of leading. And I have to share with her over and over again, when I see her like in her flow and creating something and inspiring others to then, flow and do the same. And she's working with people that have a large distance to the to society and to work, so, and have maybe psychological problems or psychiatric problems, and then in art kind of gallery they're creating things, and also for businesses like socks and then prints for socks or whatever, right?
Wow.
And she's just doing that, like, but just having fun with the people and not seeing or aware of how she's actually leading. It is a very particular way of leading by example, right? Because you do not interact with people you actually are leading, or you do, but not to quote unquote lead, right? Yeah. And then so I'm asking all of you that have the 8. So we have a few people here. Lisa, so we have Debbie. I'm going to promote Debbie to panelist, and let's see if we can then see you. Come on, and if you want, you can share your camera, Debbie. I think that's now possible.
Yay!
It is.
Hey, Debbie.
Hi, guys. This is really cool. So thank you. So I've just been really hesitant on raising my hand on this because, and Linda, you spoke to this so beautifully. I feel this and I want to cocoon myself because it's very scary for me. Yet this is exactly what I do. I mean, I'm just myself. And when I have the urge, I just put it out there. And today has been all about, for me, finding very inspiring quotes and things, something from that Steve Jobs spoke to. And but I have a very creative way, and I also hold back because I feel so different. Yet this is so affirming. So I just want to thank you guys. I'm in the right place at the right time, and to trust that, because that's what I'm really leaning into right now, especially with studying and learning about human design the last 18 months. It's just leaning into that and trusting it. And I'm doing exactly what I'm here to do.
Beautiful. And it works in a pulse.
Yes.
So that's maybe why you feel like holding back, is that it isn't the right timing yet. Nothing's happening. And suddenly you have this creative thing, and then you have to, because you are an innovator.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to, and then you can initiate it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have so much I want to initiate. I have so much I want to initiate. And but it's also in trait 6, which I don't think that's what today's
in quality 6.
Quality 6, yeah. I don't think that's today quality, but it's just, again, paying attention.
Yes.
It's just so affirming. So thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you for stepping up and really being able to share with us. I think it's so beautiful, and it's so great to see your face.
Yeah, it's great exciting to be on the panel. So thank you.
Yes, you are very, very welcome. And that's the thing too. I think one of the things that Debbie brought up also is that you think, oh, well, if you have this, you just are out there. Right. But sometimes it's like, I don't know, there can be some insecurity with it, because you are going to get attention with the 8. Now, getting attention is one thing. Is that attention good, or is that attention not so good? And sometimes, I'm sure, Debbie, as an innovator, sometimes it can be challenging, especially as an innovator, getting the right kind of attention. So timing is everything.
It is, and trusting that as well.
Yes, exactly.
And it's okay if it's not. I have a profile 3-5, so I'm okay with experimenting. Yet there's something inside of me still that just, and that must be my body, or just saying, it's just not right timing yet. So trusting that.
Yeah, exactly.
You have your decision-making strategy that is the key.
Yeah.
So that will
push you
into motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we also have Heidi. Hi, Heidi. Welcome.
Yeah. Thanks,
Hello.
Debbie.
Thank you. And so Heidi is a express builder for 6 public role, and she has also trait 8 in quality 6. So how is it for you to experience this? And do you know which life aspect, which planet?
Yes, it's Mercury. So my expression, my message.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you can hear me, obviously. I can see my microphone going up and down. It was interesting that you said it comes in a pulse. Does gate 1 come in a pulse too?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. All right. So the way that I see gate 8 showing up is probably in the way that I've got.
Oh, sorry. Oh, bummer. That's me.
Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry, Heidi. Okay. Sorry. We'll try again and see if she will come on. Sorry, Heidi.
That's the 36 crisis.
Yeah, got that one too. Can talk to that one as well. Yes, so I've got the brainwave channel, so it does tend to just show up. I just talk sometimes, like express what I see for someone. So as an osteopath, I work with the body, but then things show up. And now at the moment, because I've done BG5, the foundation, I'm seeing people who have come to the end of their motherhood role, all the kids leaving home and having that sense of, now what? I've lost myself completely. So a sense of looking to help direct them. So with the 1, the 2, and the 8 all in line, it is one of the things that I probably would be good at.
Yeah. Wow.
Whenever the time is there.
What's that?
Whenever
Yeah,
the timing is there, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Really beautiful, Heidi. Thank you so much.
Can you talk a little bit about the pulse? What you like? Are we talking hours or days or?
It could be any of the above. So it is part of, I'll just bring up my chart here. So the individual, the format strength is the 360 that sort of sets the pulse for the entire circuitry. And it's an on-off pulse. So it's there or it's not there. So it can be, I don't know, because it's about knowing as well. I don't know. And then suddenly you know. And sometimes it can be a quantum leap. Sometimes it can take minutes. Sometimes it can take days. Sometimes it can take months. Sometimes it can take years, depending on what it is. But it's always operating in a pulse. So it's one of those things that, because I also have it as well, I have both the 1, 8 and the 2 as well, Heidi. One of the things that I recognize, with this pulse is that oftentimes I find that even though I have this contribution, that it also is a projected strength as well, which means part of the timing, no matter what career type you are. So even for you, Debbie, and having that as a trait, no matter what type you are, this is a voice that needs to be recognized and invited. And so there are going to be times when you feel recognized and invited to speak, and other times you can't even get the words out of your mouth. Like, whoa, I don't even know what I'm talking about. And being patient with the not knowing, because oftentimes it's almost like, if we think of this this pressure, or kind of like I love Anna's analogies, of the garden. When you plant a seed, it looks like nothing's happening, and it looks like nothing's happening, and it looks like nothing's happening, until all of a sudden you see a sprout. And so it sort of works in the same way. It looks like nothing's happening, but there's stuff that's happening behind the surface that we're just not consciously aware of. And so part of that is also giving the right timing for ourselves of when to speak, when to make a contribution, when we know. I don't know if that helps at all, Heidi, but that's a really great question.
Yeah, no, that pulse thing is really. You said there was 2 things that were identifying how the pulse shows up for you. Like what? You said 2 numbers?
Yes, the 1 and the 8, right? Because
Okay.
I have the strength.
Okay.
Yep.
No, you said something about 2 other numbers in your profile or in your chart.
I was saying this is not in my chart, but the format strength, which is the 360. So these are the 3 format strengths, the 42, 53, which is beginnings, middles, ends, beginnings, middles, ends. So it's all about cycles. The 360 sets the pulse of it's there and it's not, right? Not there, not there, not there, there. And then the 9 and the 52, which is right here, which is what Natalie has, is this focus concentration. So there, in a sense, this sets the frequency or the energy for the entire circuit.
Okay.
So whether you have it defined or not doesn't matter. It's just it is, what sets the pulse, or what sets the cycle, or what sets the focus. And so because it is part of that stream, that is going to be it, since it's individual, it's going to have that pulse on and pulse off. Yeah, really, really great question. Does that help?
Lots. Thank
you. Yeah, fabulous.
So we have Lisa has also the trait 8 and actually 8-1, full strength. And she shares in the chat, I don't know, and her pulse is off. so she doesn't want to come on. I don't notice my leadership until I see others starting to do what I do. What I do notice is my ability to see what others have to offer and can easily, effortlessly promote them. I get so excited for them. And that's exactly what contribution is about. It's not only your own personal creativity, but also giving stage to the creativity or the uniqueness or the individuality of others. And with that, it being also a PR, public relations, when in group settings. So that's very wonderful that you recognize that. And then we have Annette, and Annette has it as her bridging trait. So it has a shadow pressure with it. And she shares, and this is similar to what Linda also was sharing, I got a diploma in pre-press graphic design and loved the art part, but felt inadequate getting commercial clients, doing their visual ads, etc. Right? So then you're really doing it for yourself and in your creative bubble with having the one on the other side, and not being able to, bring it to expression or contribute to the outer world. Yeah. Yep. So thank you both for sharing. That's really wonderful.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you all for your contribution, because again, it makes it really rich, and to really hear, the different career types and how it impacts you and how you use it. I know for myself, you can see that I have it unconscious, right? It's red, so it's unconscious. And it's very interesting when I use my voice. I can feel the difference between when I'm using it correctly in the right timing, when I'm recognized and invited, and then when I'm trying to I feel like I need to say something and I say something and it's like, nobody really gets it. It's not really a contribution. So it's a contribution or not. And, one of the things that I think with the 1-8 playing along with my public role of being an authority and a pioneer is that even in all of these presentations that I put together, I do it in a sense sort of selfishly for myself, to help myself understand it. When I was first putting together all of the programs as well, it's also how I learn as well. And just in doing it, being able to, hopefully inspire the other instructors as well to be able to teach this information, as well as other consultants as well, to be able to go out and deliver this information as well. So that's how
we are inspired. You are a role model and a leading. And I remember when I started teaching, I was just a mini Karen, remember?
Yes.
Well, hello. Well, I'm already feeling like I don't know if my contribution will be that good in teaching the information as yours, because, oh my goodness, we have someone to look up to.
Yeah, and again, there can be some insecurity in it, right? Because it's like, yeah. Even for me, I mean, I also have the authority piece too, but there's also a lot of insecurity is, am I delivering the right message? Am I doing it in the right way? Will people get it? Will it make a difference? Right? So I don't know if that insecurity comes from the 8 itself. I don't know. Definitely from the 1-3, from the authority and the pioneer. But the whole combination, you can kind of see the threads that move through it, and it has a tendency to gain a lot of attention, whether you want that attention or not. So you want to make sure that you have the right attention that you're getting. Yes. Exactly. So let's take a look. Let's just take it down to the quality. Today, we're actually taking a look at quality 4. This is about respect. And whenever we're talking about the quality 4, it's about the influencer. So this is the gift of natural recognition and contributions of others, and particularly the acknowledgement of those who lead by example. So the elevation is the drive to contribute and be an example to and for others, and the uncompromising drive to assimilate, right? So to be a part of, again, it's interesting that this is an individual trait, but where it works best is actually in a group, in a small group. So being able to provide that contribution. The challenge, a gift for contribution that is not conditioned by limitations. In a group where limitation is transcended, reason alone cannot predict the individual worth. As an example, the acknowledgement of the leader in an athletic team that is not necessarily the most talented. Right. So it's, acknowledging the contribution, even though they may not be the best or the most talented, but they do have still a contribution to the group, because sometimes people can contribute more to the group than they can at an individual level. Right. So it's a very, the 1 and the 8 that, as well as the 14 and the 2 are really interesting because they typically operate best within a group setting. It's one of the things we take a look at, especially in BG5 certification, and how they show up and how they're recognized. So I really recognize and acknowledge both Debbie as well as Heidi as well for stepping up, right, and being a contribution to the group, and hopefully then also inspiring others to see that it's a safe space to be able to do that as well. So I really appreciate you. All right. Anything else that either Linda or Natalie, or if there's anyone else that wants to share as well?
Well, what strikes me when I read this, it's really important to embrace yourself and to be authentic. That's also in line what you shared, to be able to contribute and to be seen and to be able to empower a group. You really have to be yourself. Yes. And be okay with your creativity, your mutative influence, with the way you deliver your contribution, because maybe sometimes it is different at times than other people are used to. So I really feel that if you have this trait, it's really important to say, okay, well, maybe sometimes I feel a little bit insecure or something about the way I contribute, but this is my way and this is what I do. And then you earn respect from the group, because if you are taking a pose and doing things in a way that's not you, it will be felt. Everything is energy, and then the contribution is not that powerful. And the group is not, being helped with the contribution or the public relations. Then you get the wrong attention, the wrong clients, the wrong environmental things that pop up, or you attract things in the wrong way. So I really feel the respect is there when you are delivering your contribution from an authentic place, and then you lead. And then you inspire others to also step up and say, well, maybe I can contribute as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Natalie brought this up earlier too. It's not about, in a sense, forcing the contribution. It's being the contribution. And I think what you said, Linda, is really important, in that authenticity as well. People can feel it if it is or if it's not. Yeah, exactly.
May I share an example of how that showed up this week?
Oh, yeah. Please.
So as Linda was sharing, it just all came to me. So I'm in this leadership development program called, it doesn't matter what it's called. And so I'm leading, and it's for a whole year. And I'm leading a group of people. And I chose to lead because what happens is my tendency is to purchase a program and not complete it. And so I put myself in a position to do that. Well, and Darren Hardy is the leader. And so we were in module 9, and this module was specifically speaking to pushing ourselves and pushing others out of their comfort zone. And so there was just an urge that I had, and I said, okay, I need to speak to this. So, and I just reached out to connect with the group. And I just shared with them the last week has just been difficult because my computer stopped working. And so I was just telling them a little bit about my life, and then also then connected with them on module 9 and asked them if their edges are being pushed. And I even pushed it to the point where I said, think about if your edges are being pushed, because if they're not, maybe you need to go to another group. But it was just the way I shared it, the way I said it, and the feedback I got from one person out of 6 so far was, Debbie, I really appreciate your authentic email. And yes, I can see how I could push myself even more. My request was for everybody to show up at 7 a.m. because there are people that come in at 7:30. And so I just put the request out, show up at 7 a.m. Let your leaders know you cannot be at the meeting because you have a commitment for the next year through December. So I was very forthright about it, but also let them know this is me pushing me. It's really uncomfortable for me to push others like this. However, I'm committed to being a leader and in this group. And so far I've gotten one feedback, but it was uncomfortable, but I did it. And the feedback I got was, thank you for pushing me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, it's just there's a video. I think I've talked about it in one of the other BG5 lives a long time ago, where there's a concert and there's one guy and he just kind of gets up and dances and everybody's like, oh my God, that's weird. And, they just kind of watch him. And then soon there's one other person that gets up and start dancing. And then after that, there's this whole crowd that gets up and starts dancing. This is the role of what the individual is and the individual contribution. That's why it can also be scary. That's also why it can be a little bit insecure, is because being the first, being out there, getting noticed, getting recognized. And people may make fun of you at first. But then when you really, when you are there and he didn't back down, he didn't like, oh, everybody's looking at me, it's kind of weird, and sit down. He just kept doing him. He just kept dancing. Yeah. And that brought everybody else dancing as well. And so I think that's a beautiful example also, what you just shared, Debbie, right? You step up to the plate, and in you stepping up to the plate, right, people join in. And it can be uncomfortable at first, right? It presses your edges. It challenges you to really stand in who you are and stand for what you either what you believe in or what you stand for, and do it unapologetically. And then people go, oh, thank you. You've now given me the freedom to do that myself. Yeah, beautiful example, Debbie.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. Very cool.
We have sharing. Tonya says to Debbie, that is great to hear. You have your group members talking about their comfort, discomfort in your leadership role. Like Karen said, you stepped up to the plate. Awesome. And Lisa shares, I just got a thought about the 8, like the mother bird making a contribution to their offspring's independence. It's not a contribution if she pushes them out too soon, but perfect when the timing is right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
Thank you both.
Wonderful. All right. And then let's take a look at the celebrity for the day. We have Pope John Paul II, a religious leader. And if we take a look at what the life theme is, and I always think that this is really, I have the wrong chart here. Oops. I forgot to change out the chart.
Can you pull up the MMI?
Yes.
On your screen?
Yes. I forgot to change out the chart. Of course, I have to make at least one mistake. Thought I was doing so good.
You are having a beautiful contribution today, Karen. Really.
So it's okay to make mistakes in the middle of a presentation.
No problem.
There's no 8 to find. All right, let me see if I can show this. Hold on one second. Oh, you know what? I may need to change my sharing here. Give me 1 second. I need to share the screen. Let's see. All right, let's see if we can see it now. There we go.
Yes.
That's a
Leave
bit
it there,
better.
and so we can read and see. Yeah,
Oops,
that will go away.
go away. Get off of there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
Don't go down. Go with your cursor.
There we
Go up and about. Then you can use your cursor. but
There we
it's
go. There we go. Okay. So one of the things with the 8, it's interesting that the life work theme is contagion, right? And contagion is, making things, again, it's about getting noticed. It's spreading something. So it can be spreading an idea, spreading the word, etc. So the life work theme of contagion, you lead by example and desire to make a contribution by committing resources towards ensuring the future security and wealth. A civilizing example that impacts others. All right, so we can see this is Pope John Paul II, again, religious leader. He was head of the Catholic Church and the sovereign of the Vatican State from 1978 till his death in 2005. He's the second longest serving pope in modern history. He was born in Poland, and he was the first non-Italian pope since the 16th century. All right, so that is our example. All right, so that's the correct chart there. So we can see go away. So we can see the 8-4 here. All right, let me move this so it doesn't get in the way here. All right, beautiful. All right, so what I'd like to do here in just a moment, we're going to wrap everything up in just a moment. So just kind of ponder and see if there is anyone else that would like to share. We would love to hear from you. Again, if you are fairly new, you want to see, what is activated in your design. Do you have trait 8? And if you have trait 8, where is it and what quality? I have it in quality 1. You can download your free chart. You can go to bg5businessinstitute.com and you can download your free chart. You can also visit our website, check in to see what the trait is of the day. If you go to BG5 Live, this is also where you can find a link to our free resource library, where you'll also find past episodes of BG5 Live. And again, we have our courses and classes. We just started this semester's courses and classes. There's still an opportunity to jump aboard if you want to take part in the foundation course, the BG5 certification course, or the Profit Potential. Although that one's full. So you do have an opportunity to join the foundation or the certification if you want to jump aboard. Again, our next semester is going to be starting in September, and Linda is going to be leading the foundation course in September. So you can take the foundation course with Linda starting in September. So prepare yourself accordingly, and we will have that. I think we have it up and running now.
It's up. You can.
So you can
subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. So look forward to seeing you in future classes as well. All right, so let's wrap everything up, and let's also take a look at what are some key things to, and again, we're going to be moving still into independence. So notice how we have all of these independent strengths, these independent voices that start off the month of May. So again, we have contribution. We're going to be talking about contemplation in the now next week. So what are some things to pay attention to in this upcoming week, in being a contribution, in leading through example, or anything else that you see that we should be aware of in this upcoming week? How about for you, Linda?
Maybe you will, in a pulse, feel what your contribution will be. So be aware of if you feel invited to do something with it, or to really also surrender to, maybe it's not the time for your contribution, but it can also be, especially when you have the one, that it really pulls you, that you are going to elaborate on, what is my contribution? What is it that I have to bring here? What is it, what I want to express? So for me, it helps to ponder about it in this period. So I like it to stay. And I know now some people that have it, including you, so that I can make use of it. But really, be aware, feel invited. Don't worry if the contribution is not there, if you're not able to express, and surrender to the flow. And when you get to the stage, get on the stage and start dancing. I like this because I don't have the 8, but I was also always the one that started dancing. I don't know if that's also the one, but I don't know.
But just being authentically yourself. I mean, just, feeling the groove and in the mood. And
everyone had to drink their beers first. And I was, come on, guys, don't, let's go.
Exactly.
So maybe dance. I don't know. Do things that you feel in a pulse, that you think, okay. Go for it.
Yeah. Individually express yourself authentically.
Exactly.
And creatively. Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to add, Natalie? Or is there anyone else who would like to step up and share? Be a contribution?
Yeah. So so that is one part in how you feel it yourself. And then look out for all the sparkling individuals around you that show up all of a sudden this week, right?
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful. All right. And anything else from anyone else before we wrap up? Debbie or Heidi, if there's anything that you would like to share before we wrap up, we'd love to hear from you both again.
Just thank you, and I will pay more attention, even though it's already happening. I'll just pay more attention to see what shows up even around me through others.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, thank you, Debbie. How about for you, Heidi?
I was just going to say thank you very much for holding these sessions where we can ask our questions, because learning little things like the pulsing, I'll be watching that to see how that shows up, so that I actually hold back when I need to and actually let it flow when it feels effortless.
Yes,
so thank you very much.
Exactly. And I think what you just said, Heidi, too, is a really big key for this week, too, even as we move into the 20, because it's still an individual trait. So it still has that pulse. So again, waiting for the right timing, right? And if the energy is there, great. If it's not there, it's just time to wait. The timing's not right. So trusting the timing, trusting your decision-making strategy. Thank you so much, Heidi and Debbie, for joining us. And of course, thank you to Natalie and Linda and all of you that have contributed in our Zoom room, as well as our Facebook page as well. We thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.